Marhaba, thank you for joining us today and for the first batch of the Cleanergy Accelerator. Today, in the Cleanergy Innovation Day, we will demo 8 of our most promising startups to you. A year ago today, the startups were 2 weeks into our first batch of the program. A week later, a devastating explosion shook the heart of Beirut. More than a dozen of our entrepreneurs that you will meet today got injured, a few lost their homes, and some even lost their relatives. Today, and after a year of hard work and a lot of effort placed, our entrepreneurs are about to introduce to you, ladies and gentlemen, promising businesses that have the potential to scale, to create job opportunities, and provide a better Lebanon for all of us. So please welcome the startup with me, and we'll kick off with the first startup, BioWaste.
We didn't think throwing away food matters until we met Joyce.
Our kitchen wastes 30 tons of food every year to prepare the delicious food that we serve in our restaurant. We pay $5,000 worth of cooking gas to prepare the delicious food and another $3,000 to dispose of it.
But what happens next? All this waste goes to landfills, polluting our water resources and creating high levels of CH4 emissions. At BioWaste, we're turning this whole story around and we're targeting every single aspect of it. The food waste that you're about to throw away and that you're struggling to dispose will now be treated on site. After a year-long process, a lot of hard work and many iterations, we've come up with a fully automated, efficient and user-friendly solution to the problem. Zero, a device that fits in every kitchen and that will transform the daily food wasted in commercial entities into renewable resources. Start by activating the system and continue to add the food waste daily, and with the help of the bacteria starter seed, the device will break down the waste and generate biogas that will be safely stored in a gas tank. Now simply turn on your stove and enjoy cooking on natural gas.
That's not all. The remaining flutes make 100% natural fertilizer so that more food can go back to the land and less to the landfill. We're not done yet. Zero could be customized to address the needs of every entity, and that's exceptional. With BioWaste, they were able to achieve zero cost for dumping, up to 80% reduction in gas bills, 100% organic fertilizer, and save Earth and mankind. There are more than 3,000 entities in Lebanon and 85,000 entities in the MENA region that share the same issue. And the global food waste management market is estimated to expand to $42 billion in the coming years. We're aiming to cover this growing market and fulfill our vision to become the next leader in the waste-to-energy technologies in the region. The challenge wasn't easy, but we were able to make it. In 2020, we launched our first system, we sold 2 units, and we're aiming to produce 15 more till the rest of this year. For 2022, our focus will be on increasing our production and our sales, investing in research and development, and expanding to MENA region. Whether you manage a food business, a farm, or a municipality, be part of a revolutionary change in the organic waste treatment, invest and make the world a greener place.
So I'd like to welcome with us today Ran and Yasmin from BioWaste. Welcome, ladies, and thank you for joining us. Okay, so before we kick off the session, I'd like to ask from the team to share the Slido link for the users to interact with us. Ladies and gentlemen, we've set up a Slido link for you to give us your feedback and ask your questions to our entrepreneurs. So all you have to do is head to the website slido.com and type in the code Cleantech 2021. So I'm going to repeat this. All you need to do is head to the website slido.com and type in the code Cleantech 2021. There, you'll be able to give your feedback on the polls and to post any questions you have in mind for our entrepreneurs. Alternatively, you can scan the QR code and log directly into the event. So we're going to give a minute for the audience to do that. And meanwhile, while the audience does that, Ryan, can you please tell us a bit more about what makes your product interesting?
What's interesting about our product is that we're offering a machine
is that we're offering a machine that's highly efficient, economical, as it saves money on cooking gas and organic fertilizer, user-friendly and eco-friendly.
Okay, so we're gonna give a few more seconds left for the users just to log in to the account. And while we do that, I'm gonna post the first question so that people start giving their feedback on that. The first question is, how likely do you think restaurant owners are willing to invest in a solution that allows them to save on their gas use and their gas fees or gas bills? Please, ladies and gentlemen, feel free to vote. And we have 3 votes so far, with a feedback on this being very likely, 8 votes as well. While people vote, can you tell us a bit about your clientele, Yasmin?
Well, our first line of customers will cover restaurants, farms, and municipalities. So we started now with restaurants, and we'll continue with farms and municipalities.
Okay, we have 17 votes so far, with a 76% very likely and 24% stating neutral feedback. Ladies and gentlemen, while you give us your feedback, please feel free to post your questions on the Q&A component inside the application as well, or on the web browser as well. And we have 20 votes so far, with 80% very likely, 22. We're going to give 5 more seconds before we close the poll and head to the questions. Okay. We're gonna give people on the audience a few more seconds to start posting their questions. Ladies and gentlemen, please feel free to post any question you have in mind for the entrepreneurs, and they'll be happily ready to answer it. So we have a lot of questions. The first question is the machine invented in Lebanon?
Yes, the machine was invented in Lebanon, and it's also produced in Lebanon.
Okay. And how much does it cost on average?
For the standard size, which takes 20 kilograms of waste, is $3,000.
Okay. Someone's asking about the capacity of the machine, and we have another question about the size of the machine.
We have 3 systems. We have 3 capacities for the systems: 20 kilograms of waste, 50 kilograms, and 100 kilograms.
Okay. And how big is the machine?
For the 20 kilograms, it's around 1 meter in width. And 1 meter in depth, and also the height is about 1 meter.
Okay. Someone is asking, what is the price of a unit? And they're stating, might it be too expensive for a small business?
In fact, if you know the amount of, if they, with only the 20 kilograms, they will be able to save up to $5,000 a year. So they will get back the price in 6 months. So I don't think it's highly expensive.
Okay. Someone's asking if it produces a smell.
No, because we have a filter that filters the H2S, so no smell. It's free of odors.
Okay. Where can they buy the machine for their home?
No, we don't have, for now, we're not working on for the household level. However, it's in our future plan.
So it's in the pipeline?
Yes.
And someone asked about the recovery of the investment. I believe you answered that.
Yes.
How much was it?
6 months.
So payback is in 6 months.
Yes.
Okay, and how much time does the whole process need?
For the you need 14 days for the activation phase, and you can start directly adding your food waste after that.
Okay, so thank you very much for your time and your readiness and joining us, both Yasmin and Ran. Up next is Diwama.
You can change the world in 3 seconds. It begins with the decision that you take every single day, which is often confusing. 70% of the time, people throw waste in the wrong bin. Did you know that this is not recyclable? Yet it is placed in recycling bins. This is leading to a lot of difficulties to sort the waste in big facilities. In fact, over 85% of the received waste is not being recovered and ends up in landfills. And what is being recovered is decreasing in value by up to 50% due to contamination. And this is where Diwama comes in, introducing AI and image recognition into waste management to drive recycling revenues. We are integrating our AI algorithm with an international player, Veolia, in Abu Dhabi, as part of their Middle East accelerator. Through their mobile application and our AI, we are helping people sort better at home by simply scanning the waste items, and the AI will tell them if it's recyclable or not.
Your waste will then go to the sorting facility, where we have our AI algorithm connected to our cameras placed above conveyor belts. The AI recognizes the flowing waste, broken down into material type, count, and brand. While the AI algorithm is connected to our online dashboard, it provides the facility manager with access to live and historical data analysis on waste composition. It also shows contamination across sorted waste and tracks lost recyclables on residue lines. The real-time access to data has enabled the facility manager to make informed decisions. As a result, recovery of recyclables is increased by 15% and their commercial value by 20%. Our customers pay us for integrating our API into their own applications or pay a subscription fee for our software. We designed our AI software to be scalable across the waste value chain. The applications are endless. Once our AI is well trained, we can deploy it into recycling facilities, reverse vending machines, smart bins, and trucks, unveiling a market opportunity of $14 billion. We are the founders, and with the support of Berytech and our top industry advisors, our work has gained international interest. We are now supported by the Alliance to End Plastic Waste and Plug and Play in Paris, Global Incubator Network in Austria, the government of Abu Dhabi, and others.
Now it's time to take the next step in our journey, and we want you to be part of it. We're asking for $415,000 for an 18-month runway to hire a team of engineers and sales. Take action now and join the revolution in the resources and waste sector. Join us while we improve sorting behavior and eliminate waste.
So I'd like to welcome with us in the room next, Christopher and Aya. Thank you for joining us. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to ask the team again to share the screen. Please, if you haven't joined us yet, head to slido.com, type in the code Cleantech 2021, or scan the QR code to vote on the polls and ask the questions to our entrepreneurs. So while we kick off the next question, and the next question is, how likely would Diwama's solution benefit Lebanese municipalities and sorting facilities, with 1 being the least likely and 5 being the most likely? Christopher, while people vote, could you please elaborate a bit on the current pilots you have and the current projects that you're running?
Yes, definitely. So currently, we've started piloting our product in Lebanon. We have a pilot with a small facility, and we have a big pilot coming up, which will prove our value proposition and be able to scale up worldwide. Another pilot is with a major waste management company, which is outside Lebanon and the UAE, and right now we're currently trying to expand into the European market.
Okay, so far we have 20 votes with a score of 4.3 out of 5. We have 43% of people claiming that this is very likely to be beneficial, 43% claiming that this is likely to be beneficial, and around 14% being neutral towards this. We're going to give 5 more seconds before we close the poll and kick off the next part of this process, which is the Q&A. Okay, so up next is the Q&A component. Ladies and gentlemen, please feel free to start posting your questions. The first question popping up is, does your system recognize organic waste?
The current system that we have and we are working on recognizes recyclables.
Okay, can you elaborate on what type of recyclables?
Yes, definitely. So it recognizes the different types of recyclables, being, for example, plastics, the different types of plastics, PET, like the water bottles, HDPE, like the shampoo bottles or detergent bottles. It also recognizes glass, aluminum, steel cans, etc.
Thank you, Aya. We have a question here, which is, it It's more like a claim that you need to answer back. The system works on barcodes only, correct?
No, it doesn't work on barcodes. It works using a deep learning algorithm, which is part of machine learning, where we detect the waste based on the shape and the color. And another feature we're currently developing is detecting the brands and the letters on the products.
Okay. Can you detect different types of plastic?
So currently we're working on detection of PET, HDPE, polypropylene, and LDPE. And that definitely the different colors of these different polymers.
Okay. How much does it cost?
So regarding the business model of our system, it is priced per ton of waste analyzed, and this is it's taking part of the increased revenues that we are providing to the facility from the increased recovery of recyclables that were destined to landfills, and from the improved quality of sorted recyclables.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much for your time. Ladies and gentlemen, we see that there are a lot of questions coming in as well for Diwama. Please feel free to post these questions in their own room once the session is over. You'll get the opportunity to network with our entrepreneurs and engage with them in a more interactive manner. Up next is Hadir.
عبيروت ما هيك؟ ذكرتيني بحالة محلولة، خليني أحجز لك an extra seat.
هاي and welcome to هدير. هدير هي موبيليتي سيرفيس جديدة هدفها تأمن أحلى اكسبيرينس لليوزر على الباص. أول ما تطلعي على الباص دغري بتحسي بالفرق. فيك تلقطي واي فاي which is free by the way لتكملي شغلك أو تحضري ابيزود امبارح أو اللي بدك إياه. وأكيد في عنا اي سي، ما رح تشوبي بقى. كيف بتلاقوا هدير باص؟ very easy. بتفتحوا الاب، بتكتبوا your destination، بتنقوا your باص حسب وقتكم وبتحجزوا كم سيت بدكم. الاب بتعطيكم كل الانفو اللي عايزينها لتوصلوا على الديستنيشن، يعني بتفرجيكم الراوت تبع الباص، الميتينج بوينت تبعكم، كيف توصلوا عليها وقد ايه بدكم وقت.
هدير ما بتملك ولا باص. We partner with bus companies و bus owners اللي بيسجلوا الباصز على البلاتفورم تبعنا and then we revenue share the tickets sold. هدير بتجهز الباص من ناحية التكنولوجي and it makes sure the bus is up to standard. And the bus owner gets access to the bus activity على الداشبورد. So far بالبايلوت فيز هدير صار عندها أكثر من 100 registered user و30% منهم بيحجزوا tickets on a weekly basis. وهيدي بعدنا بأول الطريق into the $35 million Lebanese market يلي هي عندها a bigger untapped potential لأنه العالم بعدهم بيتكلوا على سياراتهم. بلبنان هدير هي يونيك بالسيرفيس تبعها. الكومبيتيتورز تبعنا هن الباسز العادية اللي أكتريتهم منهم سيف ومنهم ريلايبل أو أوبر يلي هو expensive for daily use. بالمينا ريجن الدايركت كومبيتيتور تبعنا هو سويفل يلي بنعتبره our proof of concept and our potential acquirer since they raised $80 million so far. هدفنا نوسع الاوبريشنز تبعنا على developing countries اللي بيستفيدوا من public transportation being digitized. For now بلبنان, we are expanding and optimizing our operations. Driving this expansion is our team of Anthony Seba, our CTO, Boutros Karam, our CFO, and myself, Elio Haddad, as CEO. We are asking for $200,000 وبارت كبيرة منهم رح تنصرف على الماركتينج and further enhancing our platform. So شو هي هدير؟ هدير is not just an app. هدير is a community in motion.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome with me two co-founders of the Hadir startup, Elio and Anthony. Very happy to have you. So very briefly, we've just seen the video of Hadir. Can you tell us what does Hadir allow a user to do?
Hi, Joel.
Hi.
So basically, the app will allow the user to find, book, and track the bus, and will also provide all the information that are relevant to the user's trip.
Okay, great. Ladies and gentlemen, I kindly ask you to head to the Slido link. And in light of what you understood from the Hadir solution, how likely, answer the following question, how likely are you to use a transportation solution like Hadir instead of using your car or taxis? All right. In the meantime, while you're voting, I'm going to ask the team another question. So, gentlemen, may you please tell me, what are the challenges of building a startup like Hadir, especially in an environment like Lebanon?
Sure. Okay, so the main challenge that we've been facing is that of culture. The Lebanese mindset as a collective lacks the public transportation culture, which is something we're trying to change, slowly changing. However, it will take time, and that's what we're aspiring to do. On the other hand, the business landscape of the transportation sector is difficult in that all the bus owners try to monopolize their own routes, and they fight over the high traffic routes, which is proving to be a bit tricky, but we are very confident that we can change that, basically.
Okay, last question before I actually just close the poll. Last question, we understood you're already on the move. So can you tell us how many buses you have and what regions you intend to cover?
Sure. So currently we have 6 buses from Amshik to Beirut. Our next step is to cover the entire coastal highway, and then we will start branching in and connecting different areas of Lebanon to the coast, basically, and getting this network of routes.
Okay, great. And you also have plans, if I understood well, beyond Lebanon?
Oh, so yeah, on a regional level, we're aiming to go into developing countries that lack good, decent public transportation, and that will benefit from digitizing their public transportation and optimizing it.
All right, great. Let's check whether we have any additional questions. I think that's it for now. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And up is our next startup, also in the world of transportation, although slightly different. It's Go Parkly. Please welcome them with me.
Consider you're driving from point A to point B and you need 20 minutes to reach your destination. On a congested day in the city of Beirut, finding a parking space can take you around 25 minutes, making your journey a total of 45 minutes. Now imagine you have a mobile app, so when you reach your destination, it tells you where the next available parking space is, which turns out to be just 3 minutes away, making your 45 minutes journey take only 23 minutes. I understand that finding a parking space can be a very frustrating experience. This is the case for the 2.2 million drivers who cruise the streets of Beirut every single day searching for a parking space. This is why we have combined our 40+ years of experience in the design of parking systems, sales, and business development to create Go Parkly. Go Parkly is a technology platform that connects drivers to available parking spaces. Download Go Parkly app for free to find, reserve, and pay for your parking space all through your mobile phone.
We have partnered with the biggest parking operators in Beirut on a revenue sharing basis and implemented 2 pilots in downtown Beirut with VPS and with Solidaire, and the third one is on the way with the municipality of Beirut. Our aim from these 2 pilots is 1, to provide our customers with 100 parking spaces, and 2nd, to help our partners better visualize their parking assets in real time, enabling them to make data-driven decisions and implement dynamic parking policies.
With $20 million in yearly revenues, we chose to start in Beirut, our beachhead market. We then plan to expand to the markets of Istanbul, Riyadh, Dubai, and Cairo. What makes us unique in the above-mentioned markets is the technology behind our sensor. We are able to detect the occupancy of parking spaces in real time with an accuracy of 99%. Our unfair advantage comes from the fact that we are able to reduce the cost of detecting the occupancy of parking spaces by a staggering 90%. More than $33 billion were invested last year alone in mobility technology. Invest now and join the coming parking revolution.
Hello again, ladies and gentlemen. Please join me in welcoming our next startup, Go Parkly, with its 2 co-founders, Muhammad and Marwan. Nice to have you, gentlemen. So a brief question before we head to Slido. What problem does Go Parkly help in solving?
Go Parkly solves a $148 billion worldwide problem which is searching for a parking space in congested cities.
Okay, we're gonna, just seems I have a small technical problem when it comes to Slido. Let me ask you another question. How did the idea come up, and what have you done so far in terms of validation?
The idea started from a personal pain. I spent so much time trying to find the right parking space. And based on our technical expertise, we were able to develop an optical detection sensor that is capable of detecting the occupancy of parking spaces in real time. Our sensor was able to reduce the cost of detection by a staggering 90%. And this is how the idea developed.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I kindly ask you to head to the Slido link and to answer the following question. Based on what you understood from what the GoParkly solution is, how likely are you to download the app? It's already on Apple Store and Android and the Play Store, and start using it to help you find a parking spot. So while you're answering, more people are answering. Great. Let me ask you another question. So we saw in the video that you target other markets than Lebanon, and you have other cities in mind after Beirut. May you tell us what are the factors that were behind your selection of these markets?
We have studied 5 markets in the MENA region worth more than $2.54 billion, which are Istanbul, Riyadh, Dubai, Cairo, and Beirut. We have chosen Beirut as our beachhead market worth more than $20 million, and we chose Istanbul as our strategic market worth more than $200 million.
Okay, so we understood that right after Beirut, you're heading to Istanbul. Probably,
yes,
most probably.
Yes, yes.
Okay, great. The results of the poll are out. 76% of the respondents said that they were very likely to download GoParkly and start using it because the problem is obviously quite big. So thank you very much, gentlemen. With this, I wish you all the best in your next steps, and hopefully we'll all be using your app very soon. Next up is our next startup. It's a different industry, also solving big problems. Here comes Reborn.
Hi Zena. Hi. So I'm here today to ask you a few questions about Reborn.
Let's move.
So tell us, what's Reborn all about?
Reborn is the brand for sustainable activewear.
Why activewear?
Because this is what almost all of us own and actually wear, but we don't know much about who made it and how it was made.
What do you mean?
The fashion industry needs a detox from the bad and unethical working conditions. Child labor, forced labor, and criminal work conditions should not be allowed anymore. We are our customers. We want sustainable and ethical activewear without having to wear boring clothes. We want a good fit, a figure-flattering shape, and comfort in those same sustainable leggings. We want to move guilt-free, and this is how we do it.
How is Reborn different?
So we use recycled materials. Are we the only ones? No, but we do it better. We're ethical, transparent, and unique in our fully sustainable production.
It's a zero waste process. All waste generated from our production is turned into this.
And we fully operate on solar energy. By wearing Reborn leggings, we recycle up to 21 plastic bottles, save up to 15 liters of water, and prevent 8.8 kilograms of CO2 while saving energy.
We are carbon neutral. We plant trees to compensate for the CO2 emissions caused by our shipments and operations.
How did you find the leggings? The fabric is just crazy soft. You wouldn't tell it's recycled bottles. The one I tried is in Asana, and the bra and leggings did not move at all.
Sounds great. Where can we find your activewear?
On www.rebornathletes.com, and soon through online and offline retailers as well.
What's your next step from here?
Now we have an amazing product and we need your support to achieve our biggest expansion in Europe and make a step closer to a guilt-free world.
Hi again, ladies and gentlemen. Very pleased to welcome with me 2 ladies entrepreneurs, Marie-Rose and Zena, co-founders of Reborn. Very brief question to you ladies before I launch the poll. So very briefly, other than sustainability and ethical manufacturing, what does Reborn offer to the user differently? Because activewear brands are all around us.
From a user perspective, actually, I've been wearing the Reborn set the whole day.
Okay.
They make any move easygoing. Also, they are for a stretch, moisture wicking, and quick dry. And we work with athletes to translate their user experience desire into this.
Okay, so basically it's comfort at the heart of like the user experience from a Reborn perspective.
Yes.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I kindly ask you to head to the Slido and answer the following poll question. So when choosing activewear, how important is comfort to you? Okay, because it's one of the main features of their product. Okay, Marie-Rose and Zena, I have a question to you. We understood that Reborn is not really your first venture. You've been in retail for quite some time, more than 10 years. So can you tell us briefly about your first venture and how you transitioned to Reborn, although it's different, yet it's actually not completely different. So can you tell us a bit about that?
Sure. So, Joelle, our first venture, as you know, is vestitlb.com. It is the first ever online shopping platform to exist in Lebanon, and we founded it in 2012. Later on through the years, we learned about the topic of sustainable fashion, and we tried to investigate our suppliers and work through our supply chain to make it more sustainable, more ethical, the way we want it to be. And later on, once we matured business-wise, we have decided to work on and launch the startup Reborn, which is a fully sustainable and ethical brand A to Z, from A to Z.
Okay, so basically your first journey shed the light on something that you decided to put at the center of your second venture.
That is true. Actually, there was a fashion crime that shocked us and motivated us to work on Reborn, which is the Rana Plaza incident in 2013, where more than 1,000 lives were lost to fashion. So this is the turning point in our careers to go towards sustainable fashion.
Great, which actually brings me to my next question. So your products are online on rebornathletes.com, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, rebornathletes.com. So what's the average basket price if someone wants to purchase something? And my next question is, given that sustainability is at the heart of what you do, how do you intend to educate people in markets like Southern Europe and the Middle East, where it's not yet at the center of their buying behavior?
Okay. So the average basket price is $90, and we're working on a more affordable collection, which is coming in September. And regarding educating the market, first our target includes customers who have the minimum awareness about sustainability in fashion, but also people who are fully concerned, fully aware about sustainable fashion, and actively looking for a sustainable activewear. This doesn't exclude customers who aren't aware about sustainable fashion, which is how we were just a few years back. And this is why we try as much as possible to create content that is very easy to understand, makes the problem accessible, but also the solution, which is Reborn, accessible to them through content on our social media platforms and through our website as well.
All right. Thank you very much, ladies. Very pleased to have you and wish you the best of luck in your next steps and endeavors.
Thank you, Joelle.
You're welcome. Next, ladies and gentlemen, join me in welcoming our next startup, Plastic Lab.
Worldwide, the green building movement is growing, and this will have a positive impact on our planet by lowering greenhouse gas emissions. But is it enough? What about the construction materials involved in the process? Plywood is a major component where a green building with 1,000 square meters slab uses up to 330 plywood boards. Not only the production of plywood releases a huge amount of carbon emissions, but also it has a very limited number of usage, and the used sheets will end up in our landfills. Plastic Lab came up with a solution by replacing plywood with a 100% recycled plastic sheet made from waste.
At Plastic Lab, we take the collected plastic from waste companies and municipalities, we sort them by type and by colors, and we shred them into small flakes. Then, with our innovative technique, we use our sheet press to turn them into beautiful plastic sheets. Our sheets are water resistant, can be used many times more than plywood, and they are cheaper by 25%.
The plywood market in Lebanon is valued around 33 million US dollars, whereas in the MENA region, it reaches a staggering $1.7 billion, keeping in mind that its use is not exclusively to the construction sector.
While doing our R&D on our plastic sheets versus plywood, Plastic Lab launched another product, the plastic beams. Alongside our plastic sheets, you can use them in interior and furniture design, creating beautiful tables, benches, fences, and even big recycling bins. This one was recently ordered by Live Love Recycle.
Plastic Lab started as a fun project in March of 2020, inspired by a worldwide committee called Precious Plastic. Since then, we've come a long way, winning several competitions.
The grants won during this last year were used to acquire our needed machines and tools, all installed in our workspace of 700 square meters. Currently, we are raising funds to grow our production capacity, to complete our R&D and certification for the plastic sheets, and for marketing and awareness campaigns.
Let me highlight one last important point. If any of our products got damaged, you can swap it for a discounted price and we can recycle it again.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Please join me in welcoming Rami Sbeh, co-founder of Plastic Lab. Rami, a very brief question before we launch the poll. So what's the main problem that's at the heart of what Plastic Lab is doing?
The main problem?
Yeah.
So the main problem is we're handling the plastic waste, especially here in Lebanon with the ongoing waste crisis.
Okay, so what you're basically doing is that you're utilizing it for manufacturing building materials. Is that correct?
Yes, we turn plastic waste into construction materials.
Okay, and is this a result of a growing trend?
Actually, worldwide, yes, it's a growing all over the world. And recently here in Lebanon, especially that there is a lot of initiatives that are collecting the plastic waste. So we found an opportunity in it.
Excellent. So ladies and gentlemen, I kindly ask you to head to Slido and to answer the following question. Do you think there is a general trend in the construction industry to replace traditional materials with recyclable ones? Rami, just while people are answering the question, let me ask you, what is the main reason from a real estate developer or from an interior architect to go for a solution like Plastic Lab?
So the trend is that we have a lot of, it's a growing movement toward green buildings. So one of the main steps to enable to have a green building is to have like the construction materials building the green building. So I think for like maybe 10 years from now, everyone's gonna try to have green solutions, especially in the construction industry.
Okay, great. So this also actually falls within the whole circular economy, I believe, kind of a trend that we're like seeing more and more so around us. Okay, so the results of the poll are out. Almost like 76% of people believe that there is a general trend in the construction industry to replace traditional materials with recyclable ones, which is very much in line with what you're doing. Great. So one last question while we receive questions, if there are any. So so I have a question from someone who preferred to remain anonymous. Have you done any tests on the material, and is it safe for using such materials for construction?
Okay, so we are in the process of testing all of our products. So mainly we are doing the tests on our plastic sheets, our beams and blocks. And the results are they're gonna be released very soon. And it's a positive result, actually.
Okay, looking forward to hearing that news. Another question before we close. So do you find enough materials in Lebanon? Someone is asking. Like,
this is very easy. So we all know Lebanon.
And
so
how are you actually finding those materials? Are you partnering up with organizations?
Yeah, actually, we did some partnership recently with many organizations in Lebanon and municipalities also, and we have our own initiative to collect the plastic waste. It's very easy to find it in Lebanon, so it's not that hard.
All right. Rami, I'd like to take this opportunity on behalf of the whole Berytech team to thank you for the setup of this studio here as Plastic Lab. So thank you very much. And with that, we're going to move to our next startup, which is Garbalizer.
نحن موجودين بأرض عماد، مزارع لبناني عم يدفع بالسنة أكثر من $30,000 كلفة السماد الكيماوي، السماد الكيماوي يلي بيأذينا وبيأذي بيئتنا.
بالوقت يلي لبنان عم يستورد 85% من السماد، نحن بحاجة للصناعة المحلية، وللأسف السماد العضوي الموجود بالسوق نوعيته عادية صلب واستعماله محدود، وعملية تصنيعه بتاخد بين الشهر والست أشهر، وبتأذي الجو بسبب غاز الميثان اللي عم يتبخر.
بجربلايزر لقينا الحل لكل مزارع، سماد سائل طبيعي معمول من عناصر طبيعية 100%، جودة عالية وفي بقلبه كل العناصر اللي بحاجة إلى النبتة. أرخص من المنافسين بقيمة 50%، وبيزيد الإنتاج بنسبة 30%. بنقدر نستعمله بكل أنواع السقاية، بده عدد عمال أقل، والأهم من هيك كتير مناسب للزراعة الحديثة.
هالشي قدرنا نشوفه على أرض الواقع مع عماد يلي صار قادر يوفر $15,000 بالسنة، وأرضه صارت عم تعطي إنتاج أفضل. لهلا صرنا بايعين أكثر من 5000 لتر، و30 مزارع راضيين عن النتيجة وبدهم يرجعوا يشتروا من عنا، بالإضافة لأكثر من 500 مزارع ناطرين نعلي الإنتاجية تلبي احتياجاتهم.
قدرنا نوصل لهالنتيجة بعد ما طورنا خط الإنتاج يلي بيحول بقايا الطعام وروث الحيوانات لسماد سائل طبيعي ب 72 ساعة من خلال 3 خطوات أساسية: فرم، تخمير، وتعقيم. قادرين نعالج 450 طن من البقايا وننتج 400,000 لتر من السماد سنويا.
لبنان بيستهلك سنويا $70 مليون من السماد. هدفنا بال 2022 نوصل مبيعاتنا لنص مليون دولار ونتوسع على سوق دول الخليج العربي يلي بتبلغ قيمته $200 مليون. مش بس هيك، من خلال شراكتنا مع المجتمع المحلي قدرنا نوصل ل 300 بيت عم يفرزوا من المصدر، وكل ما بنكبر العدد بيكبر معنا.
نحن مؤسسين جربلايزر، فكرتنا بلشت مع بيريتك بكلين انرجي بروجرام، وبعد سنة من الشغل قدرنا نكبر الفريق ونتطور من فكرة صغيرة لمعمل عم يكبر سنة بعد سنة.
مشروعنا ما بيوقف هون، ضموا لجربلايزر واستثمروا معنا تنزيد القدرة الإنتاجية ونكبر سوا.
اوكي، بحب رحب بزينب وبحنان معنا. شكرا لانضمامكم معنا اليوم. رح ارجع اذكر اليوزرز تبعنا، بليز فوتوا على slido.com، الكود هو Cleantech 2021، او اعملوا سكان on the QR code لحتى تقدروا تعطونا your feedback on the polls and to have some questions asked for our entrepreneurs to answer. Meanwhile, we understand that a lot of questions are being posted. We apologize due to the shortage of time if we're not being able to answer all the questions. You can always post these questions on the channels of our entrepreneurs, and you can always post these questions live to our entrepreneur after we close this session. They will be ready and available in their own rooms. You can network with them and reach out to them, ask them anything you want, okay? So we're gonna ask the next question. We're gonna ask you to vote for the next poll, and the question is, are you reluctant to buy vegetables or fruits unless you know they're grown using organic fertilizers? Please feel free to answer us this question. بهالوقت العالم اللي عم بيجاوبونا على هذا السؤال، فيك تخبرينا شوي مثلا عن الصعوبات اللي واجهتوها اثنيناتكم كنساء بالمنطقه عندكم لتقدروا توصلونا لهذا المشروع جاربلايزر؟
اكيد، نحن بلشنا بال 2020 مع بدايه الكورونا، فكان التحدي بالنسبه لنا على كذا صعيد. اول شيء على صعيد انه نحن بنات عم نشتغل بمنطقة شوي صعبة بسبب الطبيعة الجغرافية وطبيعة العقلية الموجودة، وإنه هذا السيستم بحد ذاته جديد على المنطقة. ما في حدا بيقول لك نحن بدنا نعالج البقايا العضوية، بدنا نحول نصنع سماد محلي طبيعي. فلحتى قدرنا نحول هيدي الفكرة لمعمل بقلب المنطقة بمنطقة بريتيل، فهذا الشيء كان إنجاز عظيم بحد ذاته.
اوكي طيب سو فار عندنا 20 جواب، بحدود ال 60% من الاشخاص عم بيقولوا اكيد بهمهم هذا الموضوع، في 20% قالوا لا، وفي 19% عم بيقولوا انه ما كثير بهمهم هذا الموضوع، بس الاغلبيه الواضحه والساهقه هي اللي بتقول نعم. سو رح نسكر البول هلا، رح نتوجه للاسئله. Ladies and gentlemen, please feel free to post your questions and we'll be happy to answer them. So عندنا سؤالين لهلا. أول سؤال هو شو الفرق بين الفيرتلايزر الليكويد والفيرتلايزر السوليد من الناحية النيوترينتس والمينرالز تبعه؟
هلا كان ناحيه المواد الاوليه الاساسيه هن بالمبدا نفس الشيء، يعني هون كان عم نستخدم بقايا عضويه وروث حيوانات، هون كذلك نفس الامر. هي بتختلف بعمليه التصنيع، كانه نظام تصنيع هوائي او لا هوائي، وبسرعه عمليه التصنيع وبعمليه التركيز. فبيكون الاختلاف الاساسي بالمنتج النهائي اللي عم يطلع، لانه السماد العادي ما بنقدر نستخدمه بنظام الري او بيواجه صعوبات المزارع ليستخدمه، بينما السماد السائل بيقدر يستخدمه مثل الكيماوي بكل الاوقات تبع الزراعه.
اوكي، ثاني سؤال هو بيقول انه 30 طن بيعملوا بحدود ال 60,000 لتر، ليه بس 40,000 لتر؟ بعتقد نذكر بالفيديو.
نحن عم نعالج معدل 30 طن، 30 طن يلي هن بيطلعوا 300,000 لتر بالسنه. هلا ال 30,000 لتر بيكون عم نصنعهم شهريا، يعني ال 300,000 او ال 450,000 لتر، 450,000 كيلو بيطلعوا لنا معدل 300 ل 400,000 لتر سمن.
اوكي، في عنا سؤال انه هل المواد تبعكم بنعمل لها تيست باللابوراتوار؟
كاورجانيك ويست نحن عندنا مصدرين، عندنا المصدر البقايا العضويه الطبيعيه والمصدر الثاني تعيل روث الحيوانات. فروث الحيوانات اكيد عم نتعامل مع مصانع فود اندستريز عم ياخذوا هيدا الروث ويعملوا له تيست لاب وعم ناخذه، ونحن الفاينل برودكت عندنا عم نتابع فحوصاته بالمختبرات المختصه.
اوكي، في عنا سؤال تاني انا صراحه ما كتير واضح لإلي، فاذا اليوزر بيرجع بيحطه للسؤال بصيغه مختلفه بيكون عظيم. ما بعرف اذا انتم رح تفهموا. Does it worth economically liter for every 10 liters only؟
الليتر هي الفكره انه نحن عم بفوت لعنا كيلو، هذا الكيلو اللي عم يطلع معدل لتر سمن تقريبا. يعني هلا اللي كل كيلو عم بفوت لعنا بيطلع مثل ما هو سمن، ما في يطلع من عنا اي شيء للكب.
اوكي، عندنا اخر سؤال قبل ما ننتقل لثاني تيم. هل فينا نستعمل البرودوي تبعكم على صعيد زراعه صغيره، يعني للبيوت او للاشخاص اللي عندهم حديقه صغيره؟
أكيد البرودكت اللي قلنا فينا نستخدمه على كل أنواع السقاية وبكل أنواع المزروعات اللي عم تنزرع.
اوكي، شكرا لكم صبايا وميرسي لوجودكم معنا اليوم. Up next is Nadira.
There's an elephant in the room that few are talking about. 80 million tons of recyclable material are wasted to dumps and landfills in the Middle East every single year, and this needs to stop. That's $6 billion right down the drain. But more importantly, that's a significant burden on our health and our environment. Enough science projects. Isn't it time for recycling to become a mainstream habit? Welcome to Waste Management 2.0. Nadira is determined to be leading this evolution. With Nadira, people will be able to recycle and sort their waste right in a fun and an engaging way. Simply sort your waste, receive feedback and collect credits, and exchange these credits on our platform for valuable rewards. We're unlocking for communities where we operate in $120 for every ton of waste that we divert from landfills and open dumps. We're already operational in Lebanon and in the United Arab Emirates and scaling to other countries in the region. In the Lebanese town of Bikfaya, Nadira enabled residents to sort more and sort better. This has resulted into a more efficient operations at the facility and increased recycling revenues. We have a dedicated team of environmental engineers, waste management experts, software developers, and behavioral scientists, all working together to realize our purpose. Currently, we're seeking to expand our strategic partnerships and apply our technology in your community. It's time to get this elephant out of this room. Reach out so we can make an impact together for our region.
Thank you, Rabia and Reem, for joining us today. Last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome Team Nadira on board. So I'm going to kick off the final question, the final poll. Ladies and gentlemen, please head to Slido to give us your feedback. The question is, how likely are you to start sorting your waste with Nadira if rewarded with loyalty points and discounts? And while people answer us, can you please elaborate a bit about the progress you, ladies and gentlemen, had so far with Nadira?
Thank you, Mario. So we started in Bikfaya. We kicked off our pilot at the beginning of the year. But since then, we've had a lot of traction in Lebanon. So we moved from Bikfaya to Ras Al Matan. And most recently, we set foot in the UAE in a pilot project with Bloom Gardens in Abu Dhabi.
Okay. And can you elaborate a bit about your potential projects and pilots in the UAE while people still vote?
So, of course, we're going to expand in our pilot with Bloom Gardens. So we only have 90 villas now, but we're expanding for the full compound with 450 villas. And we are in advanced discussions with several property developers and investors in the UAE, Oman, and beyond.
Okay, so far we have 18 people or 18 responses with 56% stating that they're very likely to sort, 22% stating that they are likely to sort, 17% that are not likely, and 6% are not likely at all. I think that's a gradual distribution, a normal distribution. I'm going to ask you, ladies and gentlemen, to start posting your questions as we speak. And I'm going to stop the poll now.
I would like actually to comment on the results. Actually, this is conforms with a survey done recently with 6,000 people giving very similar results. However, people say that they are very likely to sort, but whenever it comes to sorting, few do. So it's very important what Nadira does, which is converting people that want to sort to make them sorters at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, like I've had firsthand experience as well. I think the approach that you guys are using in terms of pulling people towards you rather than penalizing them and pushing them against is a very interesting approach.
Absolutely,
at least to have.
100%. Yeah.
Okay, so we have a decent amount of questions coming in with the short time we have. So the first question is, how can we help in our community?
Fantastic. So I think everybody has to play a role when it comes to sorting. So people can either call Nadira and we come and we advise you on sorting from source. Or if you want to help yourself without using the help of Nadira, you can start a sorting from source campaign. We can help you remotely or giving you an advice. And you can just convert your neighborhood, your building, and start sorting from source with a lot of material already available online that we can advise you on that. Please reach out for this.
How are you collecting the waste?
So we work with municipalities and existing waste collectors. We are a plug-on system. We don't replace existing players. So we provide our service as a value assurance to make sure that people are sorting from source. And whenever they do sort, we give them rewards and discounts that they can collect from nearby stores and supermarkets.
Okay. When will it be available all over Lebanon?
That will be an amazing result. We're gradually expanding in Lebanon. We're expanding abroad as well. So this will come over time. But if you're interested, you're passionate about it, reach out. Would love to be in your community.
Did you develop the app yourself?
Yes, of course. We have a strong team of 4 developers that are full-time dedicated to this app. In addition to that, we have waste management experts that are working hand in hand with the developers for our solution. And we have many features that are quite advanced using AI and blockchain that are going to be rolled out very soon.
What kind of waste are you collecting?
So we collect different types of waste. We're not only confined on recyclables because we want to make sure that every type of waste is being treated in the right manner. So we collect recyclables, other waste, which is the general waste and organic so far, and sometimes we collect electronic waste through partnerships with existing players in the market.
Okay. On what basis you decided the number of credits? It's an incredible approach. Please keep it up. That came in with the comment.
Okay, fantastic. So the credits, we give them based on a value that we set on an average. And then if the price is higher, we actually increase the amount of credits. If the price that we're pricing is lower, we lower it. So we have an average amount of credits that we set. Happy to discuss this if somebody wants to go deeper into how we do it.
Do you sort by type of plastic?
No, that's a good question. We get a bag that is full with recyclables, and then we take that to a secondary sorting facility where it gets sorted again. So that's how we operate, is through such facilities.
And is it a paid service?
So Nadira gets paid whenever our clients save from sending the waste to landfills. So we only get paid whenever waste are diverted from landfills.
Okay. And last but not least, are you shredding the plastic?
Not yet. What we are doing is we are packing and selling the plastics through our partners at this point. In the future, that's a good idea to increase the value of the recyclables that we are doing, but we're not doing this at this point yet.
Okay, thank you very much for joining us today. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank you very much for being with us today. We would like to send a special thanks to the management team and that has been running this show today and has put a lot of effort into this so that you can witness the great achievements of our startups today. We'd also like to thank the Embassy of the Netherlands for providing us with the right amount of support and pushing us to achieve. Last but not least, I would kindly ask you to head to our website if you're interested to make a change in Lebanon, and if you're interested to make our country a better place in terms of waste and energy. The time or the deadline for our program is the end of this week. Please open up an application if you have an idea, and we'll make sure that we transform your idea into a successful business. All you need to do is head to berytech.org/Cleanergy. There you can fill up the application and we'll receive your application and get back to you the soonest possible. Finally, please feel free to head to the virtual rooms once the session is over. Reach out to our entrepreneurs, engage with them, learn a bit more about their products, and ask them any questions you've had, even the ones that weren't answered in today's session. Thank you very much and have a good rest of the day.